What is reality? It has no names or forms, but it is that which sustains them. It is the basis of all limitations, yet in itself it is unlimited. It is not confined to anything. It is the basis of everything that is unreal, yet it is in itself real. It is what it is. It is as it is. Reality transcends speech and is beyond descriptions such as existence and non-existence. A visitor asked Bhagavan, "Show me the reality." Bhagavan replied, "The real is always present, like a screen on which images are projected in a cinema. But while the images are being projected, the screen becomes invisible. When the projection is suspended, the screen will become visible. The screen has always been present. In fact, it was the only thing that endured throughout the whole time. Similarly, we will only become conscious of seeing a rope when we realize that we were mistaken in thinking it was a snake. In the same way, the vision or experience of reality cannot be obtained until the false vision or superimposition of the universe is abandoned. Existence or consciousness is the only reality. Consciousness is the screen on which all scenes come and go. The screen is the real. The images or figures are mere shadows projected onto it. You see various scenes passing on the screen. Fire seems to burn buildings. Water seems to sink ships, but the cinema screen on which the images are projected is neither burned by fire nor wetted by water. Why? Because the images are unreal and the screen is real. Similarly, countless images are reflected in a mirror without the mirror being affected by them. Likewise, the world is a phenomenon on the substratum of the one reality, which is not affected by it in any way. All these universes, human beings, objects, thoughts, and events are merely figures moving on the screen of pure consciousness, which is the only real thing. What truly exists is only the self, Brahman, or Atman. The only thing necessary is to abandon the perception of the untrue as true. We are all engaged in seeing the unreal as real. We only need to stop this practice. Then we will perceive the Atman. Take, for example, the letters in the paper on which they are printed. You are entirely focused on the words and do not pay attention to the paper, which is the real substratum. You are so absorbed in the letters that you forget the paper. But the enlightened ones see the paper as the substratum, whether the letters appear on it or not. In a theater, the light present illuminates both the people acting in a play and when nothing is being enacted. It is the light that allows us to see the stage, the people, and the scene. We are so absorbed in the objects or appearances revealed by the light that we do not pay attention to the light itself. In the waking or dream states in which things appear, and in the deep sleep state, when nothing is seen, the light of consciousness or the self is always present, like the light in the room that shines permanently. What we must do is focus on the one who sees, not on the object seen, that is, on the light that reveals it. When attention is withdrawn from the objects and focused exclusively on the Atman, the truth is revealed. In a cinema session, there is a screen where scenes unfold with various characters and objects. The one who sees and the beings and objects seen are mere shadows on the screen, which, being the only reality, serves as the support for all the scenes. In the world as well, the one who sees, the seer, and what is seen together constitute the mind, and the mind is supported by the Atman, or has the Atman as its base. The world is nothing but the mind. Is there a world independent of the mind? If the mind, which is the source of all knowledge and activity, disappears, the vision of the world will also disappear. Questions about the reality of the world and the existence of pain or evil in the world cease when you ask, "Who am I?" and find the one who sees. Without the seer, the world and the alleged evil will not exist. Knowing everything except the knower is mere ignorance. The mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. These thoughts depend solely on the thought I, or aham vritti. Consequently, the mind is nothing but this thought I. With controlled breath and speech, and with a focused mind, we must dive deep within ourselves and reach the source from which the I arises. To dive within is Atma vichara, self-inquiry. Ask the question, Where does this thought I arise from? What is the source of this feeling of I? By inquiring deeply, the thought I, ashamed, will disappear. This is vichara. When someone asks, what is the mind? They discover that there is no mind. This is the direct path to reality, open to everyone. When the thought I, or ego, is destroyed, the true self arises on its own in the spiritual heart and shines as the I in all its fullness. This true I, aham sphurana, is the only truth or reality. You see figures projected on the cinema screen only in dim light or darkness, but when all the lights in the room are turned on, they all disappear. Similarly, in the all-pervading light of the Atman, all objects disappear. Illusion is only due to the point of view. Change your point of view to that of absolute knowledge, jnana, and you will perceive that the universe is nothing but Brahman. Being immersed in the world, you see this world as real. Transcend it, and it will disappear, leaving only the real. Vedanta says that the cosmos arises simultaneously with the one who sees it without detailing any process of creation. It is similar to a dream, in which the dreamer arises simultaneously with the dream he experiences. The non-dualist says that the world is unreal, but he also says, all of this is Brahman. It becomes clear that what he condemns is seeing the world as objectively real in itself, without regarding it as being Brahman. The world is indeed real, but not as an independent and self-sustaining reality, just as the man you see in a dream is real as a dream figure, but not as a man. Different observers have seen different aspects of the truth at different times, and each has emphasized a particular point of view. Why do you worry about their conflicting statements? To understand anything, there must be an I. Everything that exists, whether you call it illusion, maya, divine play, lila, or energy shakti, must exist within the real self, and not outside of it. The self is evident, so why not remain as the self? What does the non-self need to explain? Reality has no names or forms. That which lies behind names and forms is reality. Reality is merely the consciousness that remains after ignorance has been destroyed. What remains is only being, the Atman. Its form is silence, and the jnanis declare it as the final and unobstructed state of true knowledge, jnana. You must know that the supreme state of liberation exists only in a mind that has attained the state of silence and nowhere else. Know that only jnana is freedom. Only jnana is purity. Jnana is reaching God. Jnana, in which the self is never forgotten, is immortality. Only jnana is everything. It is only existence, yet different from the real and the unreal. It is jnana, knowledge, yet different from knowledge and ignorance. How can this be defined? It is simply existence. The state cannot be described. It can only be being. Only one who has realized the self in the heart has known the truth. Having transcended dualities, he is never disturbed. Realization is not something to be acquired. It is always there, but it is obstructed by a veil of thoughts. Realization is simply the loss of the ego. Destroy the ego by investigating its identity. Since the ego is not an entity, it will automatically disappear, and reality will shine forth by itself. This is the direct method, while all others are achieved only by retaining the ego. All you need to do is find the source of the I and stay there. The mind now sees itself diversified as the universe. If diversity does not manifest, it remains in its own essence. That is the heart. The heart is the only reality. Remaining as yourself is entering the heart. Entering the heart means remaining undistracted. Therefore, be still and remain in the heart. Ramana Maharshi.